Alright, what up, you guys? I'm Bryson Smith.
And I'm Javin, and this is Etcetera. Bam, wham, Ralph.
Ralph the Go God. Check him out on Instagram and TikTok. He's been taking over the whole universe, so we're pretty happy about that.
We're gonna ride off the wave of his success, I hope. And Ralph said he was chill with that because, you know, it's a give and take.
Right.
Scratch his back, he scratches ours.
Ralph the Go God is dope. Check him out.
Miss you too.
I think she's in love with her.
Really?
Yeah, like, Rue is in love with Jules, I think.
Definitely like and subscribe and support the channel. And welcome to another episode of A Casual Conversation.
About Euphoria.
Episode 4 to be
Episode 4, which was called...
What's it called?
I just saw it.
It was that was Shook One's part 2.
Yeah,
right?
Shook One's part 2, yeah.
Which is a dope ass song.
I haven't heard it, actually.
Yeah, it's a dope ass song. But yeah, we're gonna be going into depth on episode 4. What did you think of it, Javin? You definitely had some thoughts as we were watching it. As far as the theme of it.
The theme to me this episode was that I don't know if it's a theme, but this was a trend. Every single relationship changed its dynamic. At least temporarily. Every single one portrayed in that. The main thing was that a lot of relationships changed their dynamic. That was the main focus, that relationships were changing how they work and what they meant to the people in those relationships.
I can see that. I mean, we saw that with what, Nate and
Maddie.
Jules and Nate and Maddie.
Yeah.
Nate and Jules and Nate and Maddie.
Jules and Rue.
Jules and Rue.
Jules and Cal Jacobs.
Cal Jacobs. And with what's her name? Caddy. Or Kat. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Kat and Ethan. Yeah, they changed.
Yeah, so yeah, there were a lot of themes with relationships were just changing throughout that whole episode. Right. And that's the carnival episode, which the episode's pretty cool. I like the episode.
I love it.
It's shot beautifully. I like all the flares and the what are they called? The freaking fireworks and stuff. Having a brain fart, but
It's all good.
yeah.
Just the lights. I mean, carnivals are always a beautiful setting to have, and it's very high school. It's very summery. Everyone's having fun type feel.
That's when the show came out, summer of 2019.
Summer? Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, summer of 2019, I believe. Influenced me to do a lot of drugs.
Don't do drugs unless they're really good. Point is, Rue actually had a pretty drug-free episode, and
She did.
that contrasted. So Rue actually went out and got help from Ali.
Yeah,
Ali?
he's a cool character. I like their dynamic.
I like that dynamic
yeah,
too.
I feel like he's like a safe place for her. Kind of like Jules, but it's different at the same time, I kind of want to say.
Well, he's got experience.
That's what it is. He has experience, and he even said that in the diner. He's all the only. What did he say? He said, "A drug addict only calls when they're out of options."
Right.
And she was out of options. Crying for help with Fez. She misread Jules, and that weighed in on her. And then she also stole drugs from Jules' house, and so she was just on a low.
Yeah, she wasn't doing so hot.
And so she reached out to him.
I know every single every single episode has been kind of about relationships, developing them, breaking them, something like that. Like the last episode, I think, was about romantic relationships and sexual relationships, just developing, things deepened between different people, except for, well, actually also Rue and Jules, but in a different way.
Well, I mean, it's a coming of age series. So there's gonna be relationships, sex, new experiences, all those things. You could almost say Euphoria is a romance or kind of like a love story.
It is a love story.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of things attached to it, but it is a love story.
Yeah.
And in this one, that love story kind of got its twist, where Rue and Jules started, it's implied that they're kind of getting it on. They're finally settled with each other because Nate went psycho.
Right.
Classic Nate went psycho on both Maddie and Jules.
Oh man, wait. Can we talk about the scene where Nate tripped out on Maddie and put his hands around her throat?
Fucked up.
And then she goes home and looks at herself in the mirror and
starts crying. Yeah. I mean, because of course she was assaulted. He assaulted her and made her feel weak and scared, and then she went back to him. That's what just settled, and that's why you would cry. Like, that's why you would be hurt, because you don't feel good about yourself after something like that.
Talk about toxic relationships. That's definitely one of them.
Oh,
and
she was. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and then they always come back. It's sort of like this weird thing to where the person that like this person gives you the most attention and the most everything, but they're also like hurting you in some way. You still go back. It's weird.
It's weird to everyone other than you when you're in
the relationship. Yeah, I'm aware of that.
It's so hard.
But outside looking in, you look at that, you're like, what the hell are you doing? Just stop.
Just get the fuck out. And they're like, well, it's complicated. It's always complicated. With Maddie, it's more than just she loves him. It's also the fact that there's history. They've been together for a while. She feels a need to help and support him. Yes, he's destructive, and she knows that. She's not stupid. But she also knows that he's got a soft side, and she's there for the soft side.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, that's the side she's there for. That's the side she wants to be there for.
Yeah, she knows he's gonna get violent, but then so different show, amazing show. You haven't watched it, I don't think. Barry. It's also an HBO.
I haven't seen it.
Thing, comedy, but also a lot of deep shit. Really, really good. Kind of want to do episodes on it, but what's
the comparison though?
So, spoiler alert, in the show there's a person who had an ex who was very abusive towards her, and she left. They're actors, right? And she has to make up a little sketch thing, a little segment, and she talks about her abuse. And in it, he's abusive towards her, and she's, trying to deal with that. And then at the end, after he's beaten her, and then he starts crying and saying, I'm worthless, I'm disgusting, and blah, blah, blah. She starts going back and being like, that's why I stayed. I didn't stay because of the abuse. I didn't stay because I was scared. I stayed for the apology.
Really?
I stayed because she knew that he would care for her.
Apologize?
He would apologize. There was the soft side, and that's why they stay. That's not always the case. Sometimes it is genuine fear and no options, and that's awful. But there's a lot of complexity, and with Maddie, she knows there'll be an apology. She knows there'll be something.
And there was.
There's always an apology, and she's there for that. Because she does love him. There's history. It's complicated. So, yeah, go for it.
I was gonna say, that reminds me of like how pimps treat their hoes. It's like, well, not all pimps, but they'll like hit them and straighten them up. But at the same time, they'll show them love. They'll buy them clothes. They'll give them all the attention they want.
You saw that Dave Chappelle bit on.
I've seen every Dave Chappelle bit, but I wasn't thinking of that one. But that's really how pimps act. But
right,
yeah, it's like it kind of reminds me of that. It's like you can't. It's not healthy to be in relationships with men like that at all.
It's or women who. Maddie's not a perfect person. Yeah, no, she is a victim in this scenario, but she's crazy too. She went up to Nate's mother, who for all intents and purposes was innocent in this scenario.
That was just out of line, but that's nothing compared to what Nate's done to her. I feel like with Maddie, she's not the major problem in this at all.
No.
There's a scene where obviously Nate says that my parents already don't like you, and the way she's dressed is really unacceptable given the circumstances. But she knew that. Like, you got to be aware of this. Right. But what Nate did was way more worse than that.
Yeah, he had physically assaulted and abused her and has been emotionally manipulating her and lying to her and I'm not trying to compare their experiences at all. What I am saying though is, in terms of toxic mentalities, they both, not to the same degree, but they both do have that toxic mentality of
definitely they're toxic.
She knew it would hurt him, but that's only because when she said, why do you got other people's penises on your phone? That's why she freaked out. That's why she was doing all of that. But
Yo.
it wasn't to help anything. She was causing trouble because that's the thing she felt like. That's the only power she felt like she had over Nate. And then Nate responded the way he does, which is abuse and then apology.
That's so sus though, like for you to go through your boyfriend's photos and then he has dick pics that aren't his dick in his phone. It's like, hold up. He might be a little bit gay, and that's okay. Like if that does happen to you, you gotta figure that out. Huh? Is there such thing as being a little bit gay? Like if you're gay, you're just gay.
I don't think so. I think it's a spectrum. Like you like bi.
Wait. So what if you halfway suck someone's dick? Are you
That's all I'm saying. I'm saying
wait, he didn't suck the whole dick, so he's not
he didn't suck
gay.
the whole dick.
He only sucked half the dick.
No, I'm saying like maybe you don't want to get fucked by a guy or fuck a guy, but maybe you like looking at penises. Or
That's
maybe
gay.
Okay, yeah, it is. It is a little bit gay. Like it's
Wait, no, he said I'm sorry. I just over this little bit gay bit. I'm just like, wait, I feel like if you're just gay,
here's what
you're
I'm saying.
gay.
There's heterosexual, which is where you like men or women depending on whether you're the opposite gender. And then there's being attracted to the same gender, which is homosexual. And there's a range within that. You are like bi, like you're attracted to both. Or you're attracted to both, but you're attracted to one way more than you're attracted to the other. Like
You would still be gay.
I can't agree with
All
that.
right, well,
I can't. Like what
beyond
about bi people?
that, we're on. I mean, no, they're bi,
Yeah.
but I'd still be like, that's still gay though. But you're bi.
I think we're just arguing over terminology. Point is,
yeah, right.
Nate is almost certainly bi, and I don't know to what degree, whether he's more attracted to men or women. It feels like, and I think we've said this before, he needs to do some exploring. I don't think he knows what he's more attracted to at the moment. I think he hasn't given himself the chance to figure it out.
Yeah, it's interesting because his girlfriend, like Maddie, is a very attractive woman. So it's like, wow, he really got to figure himself out.
Yeah, he is attracted to her, but he has also like never had experiences with men in any real way. So
Like his dad.
Who did explore his sexuality a little bit more and chose to
His dad
hide
knows
it.
what he likes.
His dad knows what he's like. Oh my God, every single time he has sex, it's the same thing. But that's what he likes. And I mean, power to him. As long as he's not an abusive asshole, which he isn't. He's not the most generous lover.
No, not at all.
But we're not here to argue the ethics of Cal Jacob's sex life. We're arguing that Nate is toxic, not because he is attracted to men, but because he refuses to acknowledge an aspect of himself. And he takes it out on other people, like Jules. Okay, so
Yeah,
let's
that
talk
scene. The scene where they finally, is it, Tyler or something? The freaking username that they've been using to text each other.
Right.
Tyler 1801 or 801, I don't know. But the scene where Jules
Shy Guy 118, I think.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, the scene where they finally meet, and that scene was kind of interesting because Jules was like, "Nate, I don't even trust you."
I don't trust you.
Yeah.
But he kissed her, and he was like,
Right. Yeah, he did. I was like, why did he kiss her?
yeah, he didn't have to. He could have just led with the threat.
He wanted to.
I think
why
that's
he did it.
I think he was attracted to her, and
Maybe he was just getting deeper in her head, like,
you could argue that. And
because he's good at doing that. He's pretty good at that.
I've never. That's a lie. I have met people who are very good at that. It's just kind of shocking to see. It's like uncanny almost, where you're like, how do you know how to do that? That's really like, where'd you learn how to do that?
People or something else.
Yeah, people are. It's because they think about it a lot. That's almost
Which is
exclusively
what he
they
did,
think
and plus they'd been texting each other for 3 weeks. He said, yeah, so
Like,
they'd
wow.
been going back and forth 3 weeks, going to sleep to each other's text messages and whatnot.
He really
He
got
can get
into
in her
her
head.
head.
No, he did get into her head. So yeah, it's like,
But he didn't have to. I think he was attracted to her and wanted something to do with that, but he also was just like, fuck Jules. She could ruin my life. And as terrible as this is going to sound, I think that was actually a pretty practical move. Hear me out.
let's hear it.
How he handled it was awful, and he's terrible. He's obviously an abusive monster. But if you think about it, from an abusive monster's perspective, there's this person in your life who knows who you are and knows who your family is. They have information that could destroy your family in a second, or at least extort a bunch of money from your family. Imagine you are somebody who knows how to blackmail people. You know how that works. You've done that. You've done that to people, and now somebody's capable of doing that to you. What's your response? You don't let that go. You never let that go.
Wait, what are you saying exactly, though?
What I'm saying is what he did, while most of what he does, almost exclusively what he does is abusive and monstrous, and he does it just to fill his ego or to get what he wants. But in this specific case, you can see how from a teenager's perspective, you would do anything to protect your family. Now, how he did it, garbage. Why he did it, probably pretty fucked up too. But at the same, like, that's a weird situation in that Jules really could destroy his life, and he has no guarantee that she won't.
The dad too, because remember what the dad said? He's like, I know you have the power to end my whole life. And he was basically begging her not to do it.
Yeah, and his dad didn't really confirm, like, he had nothing. He had literally nothing over Jules to stop her from doing anything. Nate did. He thought that was the best decision. Now, he did a lot of fucked up shit along the way. That's not the most popular opinion in the world. It's like, you're supporting Nate's decision. I
think you're just understanding why he did it.
Yeah. Not an excuse, an explanation.
Given the circumstances he was in.
Out of all the terrible things he did, this one seems like the most emotionally complex. It seems hard to say, you're a monster, you're terrible for doing this. It's like, wouldn't you be really scared? I feel like you would be really scared. Now, I understand that you're justifying your father's sexual relationship with a high schooler, but I don't know. I'd be scared. I can't completely fault him for being scared. I can fault him for all the horrible things he's done. Anyway,
I'm thinking about, like, as I'm hearing you talk, I'm just thinking about all the characters in the show and how vulnerable most of them are, if not all of them, except maybe Fez.
Yeah.
I mean, Rue is extremely vulnerable. We see how effed up she is. She loves her family. She loves her sister. We see that in this episode. Jules is vulnerable. She's always putting herself out there. All of them. Maddie,
all of them. They all...
Nate, like, everyone has really put their hearts out there.
One thing I will say, what I like about the show is they show that the men and women are vulnerable in different ways. Like, it could have been the fact that, like, the women were the ones in the vulnerable position and the men were the ones in the toxic, powerful position, but that's not actually the case in this show. Like Ethan, for example, he's not necessarily a toxic individual. I don't think he is at all.
He's not.
Kat,
he's the least toxic, probably. Yeah.
I love that character.
Yeah, he's cool.
I love
he's
him
cool.
so much.
Yeah.
He actually did not have the power in the relationship. Power is a subjective term, but Kat kind of led. She kind of was the dominant personality in that relationship, and she was the one who behaved toxic. She was the one who abused Ethan in that sense, not physically and not necessarily directly aggressively, but she did kind of betray his trust, not really want to understand his perspective. She didn't even talk to him.
I mean, they're all teenagers. Everyone, emotions are all over the place. She sees one thing and she just, like,
she ran with it.
The scene where Ethan was talking to his cousin, and in her mind, she looked at that as, wow, this guy's talking to another girl.
Oh, it wasn't her cousin. It was
his cousin.
It wasn't his cousin.
Oh,
it was his sister's coworker.
Oh, I'm sorry, his sister's coworker. That scene, and then she just kind of takes that and just kind of goes because she assumes whatever idea she has in her mind that they're doing.
Yeah, and she just ran with it because, like you said, teenagers.
Like, I feel like any sane person would not have just taken that like that right off the back of looking at that.
Yeah, no, I would have talked to the person and then made my judgment call, and I still could have misconstrued the situation, but, like, come on, talk, communicate. But you don't want to get hurt. I understand that. You kind of want to hurt them before they can hurt you.
I know, that's so sad that
sad.
mentality is there too.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with that mentality.
That reminds me of this movie that was on Netflix called Love. And there's this scene where the leading actor and the person he's sleeping with, they were talking about love. The name of the film is called Love. But she said, like, the person who falls in love first is the weaker person.
Yeah. Oh my God, I've seen that.
You saw Love?
No, but I've seen that quote. God, that quote haunted me for so long.
That's a toxic mindset, by the way. It shouldn't be like that.
It is a toxic mindset. It's not true. Vulnerability. Okay, I'm gonna preach, I guess, for,
all right, let's
for a
hear
hot
Javin
second.
preach. Let's listen to this man preach about love, because that's what Euphoria is, right?
It's about love.
Love and drugs.
Love and drugs should be the show's
Isn't that
title.
right, Ralph the Go God? Yeah,
He's into love and drugs. I think that's even on his
Ralph,
face.
I don't know if you guys have been. We still want to hear what Javin has to say, but
Right.
you guys really got to check out Ralph's IG and what he's starting to do on TikTok. This guy has. Go back to whenever he first came on the show. He's changed so much.
Yeah,
he has his own
my
personality. He says his own things.
He doesn't sleep outside anymore.
He has females now and all this stuff. He's into cosplay. It's just a whole. I'm proud of you, Ralph.
Yeah, we're really proud of you.
Yeah.
You come a long way.
Yeah.
I don't agree with all of your choices.
Hey,
but I
he's
respect
a
them.
grown ass man now. He just turned 21 recently. He's a Libra. His birthday is actually on Halloween. All fun facts.
Yeah. We love him. We just wanted to give him some love.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
This
there it is. We love you, Ralph. He's wonderful. We love you.
All right, let's hear this. What is it? What were you gonna? What is it, Javin?
Vulnerability is weakness, but for the sake of strength.
Wow, listen to that.
So it's like tensing yourself all the time. Yes, it does make you, if somebody were to randomly punch you from behind or like hit you in the stomach, yes, that would make you more protected if you were tensing all the time. However, it's exhausting. It's just not practical long run, and you will be fatigued. Your muscles will just kind of give out, and you won't be as strong in the long run while temporarily you're safe. Vulnerability is, and it's truthfully weakness. You are making yourself weaker when you're vulnerable. That's a fact. But that doesn't mean that it leads to weakness. It doesn't mean that you're weaker overall. It just means that you weaken one aspect of yourself so that one part of you can heal, get better, and therefore be stronger later when you need to be more protected. Because other people can... a group is stronger than one man. And one man can get as strong as he humanly wants to, and it's still impressive and valuable. But if he doesn't have other people around him, he still gets beat by like 5 medium strength people. So what I'm saying is, the person who falls in love first is the weaker, but will be stronger for it. Case in point.
Why don't people, especially teenagers, I don't think people are getting into a relationship with someone and thinking that. No. Which is why people get hurt in the first place.
Of course, yeah. That's getting hurt is part of.
That's a part of it, though.
Watchmen quote. We have to do. Oh my God, we have to do episodes on the Watchmen show.
We can. That's fine.
But again, a quote that haunts me is, "Relationships by definition end in tragedy." All of them.
Relationships literally by the definition end in tragedy.
Yeah,
they actually kind of. Well, I don't know what is the definition of a relationship. Do you know?
2 people being together, but because not 2 people, it's just people being close to each other, having some kind of I don't know how to say it without using the word relationship, but it's people who are connected together and choose to be connected with one another through whatever means. But because you're doing that and investing in that, it will always end. And when it ends, imagine the happiest relationship you could possibly imagine. That will lead to the saddest ending ever.
Wow.
Because they'll die. People die, or people change,
Are
or
you
people.
Saying,
yeah.
Is this what we're gonna see in season 2 Euphoria with
yes.
Angels?
All relationships end in tragedy, but that's why it's not important where they go. It's about what they are right now, because they're going to end bad. All relationships end bad, not because they are bad, but because they're good. You lost something that was good. Losing something good is always. So
you're saying
not
there's
amazing.
No hope for relationships?
The hope is the relationship, not the ending of them. It's not about whether they're long or short. It's about what they are in the moment. So in Euphoria,
that's beautiful.
Thank you. I really do believe it. I think it's true, because it's like, again, think about any relationship you could possibly imagine them. Imagine they all end. They all end, and they all end sad. an 80-year-old man and a 80-year-old woman, and they've been married for 60 years, and one of them dies. That's tragic.
That hurts.
Does that mean they should never have done it? That's insane. Of course they should have. That's why it was sad, because it was valuable.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and I know that's slightly off topic, but the point is, in this episode, we literally see all of the relationships change, because that's what relationships do. That's what people do.
They should change. I don't think your relationship should just be the same the whole time. There should be ups and downs. It's actually healthy.
It's healthy. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to go too far off topic, but yeah,
Sorry.
I was gonna say a whole lot of other stuff too, but yeah.
It's in this episode, like Cassie and McKay, McKay says some shit about her sexual, like how sexual she is, and he has a problem with that because other people tell him he has a problem with that. And then she starts to
You
view
think
herself.
that's why? It's because other people tell him it?
He literally didn't care before.
I think you're right. Yeah. He didn't.
Teenagerism. That's what it is.
Teenagerism. You're right.
Yeah.
Word coined by me. Just saying. But Javin's using it in the right context, though.
Thank you.
He's suffering from teenagerism, and we see that really, really affects him, and then it messes up his relationship with Cassie.
And that's unfortunately how it should be. He has to deal with his shit, and he dealt with his shit by pushing her away. And unfortunately, that's probably for the best, because she needs to figure out her shit and how she feels about herself. She can't be defined by what other people think of her, even though she constantly is told what other people think of her. Maddie and Nate, they changed their relationship. Yeah, that's what this whole thing is.
I mean, like, when people put, like, there's a video of her effing some dude out there on the web somewhere.
Somebody she was dating.
Yeah, someone she was dating. But it's like, when stuff like that gets out into the world, you got to know what's going to come with that.
Oh, you're saying she shouldn't? Well, she didn't. I don't know that she knew she was being recorded.
Yeah, you're
more
right.
than that.
And if she didn't know, that really sucks then.
That really sucks.
Because if that was something that was between you and your partner, that's between you and your partner.
Right. But if she, even if they did record it on purpose, I think she never recorded that like to be out there. She recorded it for her.
Right. And what I'm saying is, if it was her boyfriend that put that out there, isn't that like cyberbullying or something? Like,
that is illegal.
That is illegal.
Don't do that. But people
it doesn't
do
say how that got out there, huh? It was just a video that they were looking at. It was just a video,
and that's the tragedy of it. We never know. She's not like that kind of. She's not. I don't like. She's not promiscuous. She's just very sexual. She's sexual with the people she's involved with, which is actually a benefit. But McKay doesn't see it that way because other people told him he shouldn't see that way. Teenagerism. She needs to figure her shit out. She needs to find somebody who's a little bit more mature. He needs to chill the fuck out.
Just a little bit.
Be a little bit more mature.
We're teens here, so maybe just a little bit. I mean, but I don't know how much more mature you expect a teenage boy to be. You know, that I don't know.
I was pretty immature. God.
I mean, if you think about it, who's the most mature teenage boy in Euphoria?
The kid. Yeah, I don't know if he's a teenager, but he's selling drugs. The guy, the little one.
I was gonna say well, he's not a teenager. I was gonna say maybe Fez.
Is he a teenager?
Fez is the same age as them, I'm assuming. Yeah, they're all.
I thought he was a little bit older. He graduated. Oh no, high school. Well,
he would still be a teen though. He's probably like 19 or 18.
Shit. If that's true, wow. He is very mature. He's taking care of his grandma, right?
Yeah, he would.
Mom.
Excuse me, he would have to be the most mature teen on Euphoria, Fez.
And he still makes a lot of mistakes towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, everyone makes mistakes.
Really bad mistakes.
Yeah, everyone makes mistakes.
I've made some pretty bad mistakes. Not that bad, but pretty bad. And I know Bryson has too, probably.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
of course. Right.
Ralph makes mistakes too, I'm sure.
So I guess what we're kind of saying is, it's a good show, good episode, really good episode.
Yeah, it's a solid episode. Episode 4 was cool.
We keep forgetting to talk about the cinematography.
I mean, I feel like that has to get its own
episode.
I looked into those cinematographers and it was
just the spinning scene where Rue and Jules are on the bed. That was so sweet. I love that one.
Yeah.
Man, there was a lot of good shit. Yeah.
We're gonna leave it at that though. If you like what you've seen, like and subscribe. Definitely follow us on all of our social medias. That'll be in the description. Definitely check out Ralph the Go God. He's on Instagram and TikTok, and we are on Instagram as well, and we will be uploading TikTok content soon. So Thank
Look
you for
forward to it.
stopping by. And did you want to say something?
No, love you. Join the cult.
See you next time.
Enjoy. See you next time.
Later.